What's being decided today is whether the court should approve what's called a backward-looking settlement of $2.6 billion for damages for student athletes who are not able to sell their NIL, and whether she will approve going forward an agreement to share 22% of all revenues with college athletes. Well, we're seeing a tremendous amount of NIL revenue already being generated to the student athletes, and college sports have gotten more popular than ever. They're setting revenue and ticket sale records, even though some of the athletes are getting paid millions of dollars. So I think it's going to continue to flourish.
Do you think this is going to impact?
As long as the high school athlete has a parent or agent or guardian to protect their interest, I don't see why they shouldn't be able to monetize like anyone else is able to monetize their skills. You're already seeing athletes staying longer in college, which I think is good for the athlete, both educationally and physically, before they go to the pros. Now they can make more money in some sports as a college athlete than they would as a beginning professional athlete. They're steadfast in their belief in their so-called amateurism rules for many, many years. And now those rules have been attacked by us and are in jeopardy, so they've had to change the way they do business. No, I don't think there are any losers in the settlement. I think all athletes, no matter what school they're at, what sport they're at, they benefit from enhanced competition for their services. And that's what the settlement is all about.
The settlement is grossly unfair to women. It violates Title IX, which requires some substantial even distribution of funds like this. It's also very unfair in that it imposes roster limits on players. It's caused a lot of disruption to a lot of people's lives. And it's also just a continuation of an antitrust violation. The antitrust violation being price fixing in the market for student-athlete labor. 90% of the settlement proceeds for past antitrust violations is going to men, and only 10% is going to women. And under Title IX, that's not fair. There should be substantially equal treatment. And also, it's just simply an unfair distribution for women when women make up 47% of the class.
I don't have a roster spot on a Division I team because I'm unable to make a decision on where I'm going because of this. I think it takes away spots from athletes that have worked hard for it and that deserve it, and then we're told they got a spot. And like we've been told that this system is in place for the last 4 years, and then we got there. We got to where we were supposed to go into college, and it's not there anymore. I think it's hard to say. I think it's really confusing on why our Olympic sports that we're succeeding in are being cut, because that's what carries the U.S. at the Olympics. Like that's our swimming, that's our track and field athletes, and I mean all the other sports do it too. But I think it's hard to that's what we live for. That every 4 years, that's what the non-revenue sports are excited for. So it's hard to see opportunities being taken away that are also good for us.